Hello, this is MICROFEEL. This is from MICROFEEL, JAVED JALIL, Art for Everyday Life. Very not professional discussion, I would say. Very not professional. I meant is I enjoy things very impromptu, but definitely there is a preparation that goes on within my mind as I'm thinking about those things, so I'm intimate with those thoughts. And in this microfeel is like this few moments where I try to um, conceive those things which goes on in my mind and try to give more of a shape to an audience or to someone who wants to listen to me as I am creating and making my own stuff. So anyway, right now I have this light, and I feel this light has got a lot of dramatic aspect going on. So now, I can see there's various various visual stimulation is taking place, and we can put it as various perspective, or I would say various variations are taking place. So now, in this variation, today I want to get involved a little bit with this word called deformation. So we are very prompt of talking about deformation because when we think about or bring out this word deformation, what do we really see? So basically, you see is something which has a certain sense of perfective aspect, and that is to realize that perfection, we need something, an opposition, which is not quite perfect, which is deformed. So a lot of people say this is deformed, like it's supposed to be like that, but it's something else. It's not like that. So there is so basically majority of stuff, majority of thing is very much learned with a similar identification, and which has a certain ratio of similarities, and certainly something that mutates into some kind of different thing is we consider it as deformation. But actually, is that a problem? Is that shouldn't be? Or is that a abnormal thing? Or is that a hazard? Or it's something of a problem? Now this is where we want to get into a little bit is problem. So actually problem at times, what we see as a problem could be something which took place in such a way that we're not used to. And since we don't know how to involve ourselves, how to configure that perspective or perception, we see it as a problem. But what if this problem could be a doorway or maybe a mutation took place, which is not that usual one which happens, but a little bit different kind of a mutation. And then suddenly it appears to be deformed or something we are not used to seeing it, and we call that something out of the normal. So in one way, this normality we're thinking about is quite evident because something we are used to seeing it, and we have this certain aspect where we see most of this. There's an quantity of it which is very much of the same, so we see it as this is supposed to be normal, and then we suddenly see this mutation which is kind of away from this ratio, and it becomes something abnormal or something deformated or something which is deformation. But what I'm trying to say is this mutation that happens actually is most probably a doorway, a deformation, which we call it, or an imperfection or a problem. It could be a doorway for something new or something original to walk in, because some different perspectives come in. Because since life and everything is animated and it's moving, it's always in a flux. It requires this movement, so we need this deformation. And maybe when we want to realize it, and new perspectives can come out, and original things can happen. So what I mean is, it's not about easy or not easy thing. Definitely we have to pay a lot of attention, we need a lot of effort, and we don't know what's going to happen. So it could be a total chaos, it could be like this shadows and and all these things. So you know what, this light falls and suddenly I'm configuring this kind of light shadow falling on my face, the red tint, this absurdity of light. It's almost like a fauvistic, almost like an animalistic, or maybe a very sensual, a red tint of soft candle scent of sun pouring onto this tactility of my portrait, which I kind of seeing it through this reflection in this this synthetic, or this virtual composition. So anyway, it's fascinating. I see how the perspectives and proportions are. See that? I'm sitting here and it's like, it's okay, we see this, right? And suddenly I'm really like this, So there's a distortion happening. But actually what is really happening, I just came close to it. So the perspective, perception changes. So this deformation, which we're calling it, is deforming out of this ordinary. It also belongs to ordinary. It's just a different way of putting it. So anyway, today I think that's it for MICROFEEL. We had a little bit of flow of words, maybe not well constructed. There'll be time it might be, or whatever it is. It's just a presence. I'm sharing myself with you all, whoever wants to feel, sense, and relate and enjoy this moment with us in this MICROFEEL. JAVED JALIL talking about deformation, and we'll get into it more. We'll get into it on the next session. Anyways, thank you very much. Tata.